Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Let's Try. Today we'll have a quick look at wars across the world. It's an ambitious project. It tries to make one engine basically, one set of rules, where you can put any scenario on. So, for example, the release version has some medieval, the Battle of Hastings, some medieval, some Revolutionary War scenario, and a World War II scenario. So you see there's quite a difference between those three, but all three kind of work with this rule set. I've heard it described as a war game, which I would not. I don't think it's a war game. I think it's maybe you could call it Risk Deluxe, a very extended rule set to Risk. The game did launch with a couple of problems, which is why it right now has, I think, quite bad user reviews on Steam. It released yesterday, and the main problem, I think, was the price and the avalanche of DLC. The developer already did mention that he's aware that this is putting people off and they are trying to rebundle things, but do keep that in mind. The second problem was that the Battle of Hastings, this is the classic edition by the way, that the Battle of Hastings didn't work at the beginning. It still doesn't, but the developer promises that very soon there will be a hotfix. Basically, these are the three scenarios you get when you buy the standard edition. There are 17 scenarios, I believe. These three, I'm going to pretend, when I'm giving you some numbers right now, these are going to be the release numbers, so this will probably change. But right now you're paying 15 euros for this, and every additional battle is about 5. And there is another version, that's the extended version, which at the moment has 3 different battles. Not these plus 3, but 3 additional ones. And these 3 are slightly bigger than these. It says they're about twice as big. So, yeah. These are, by the way, about an hour or an hour and a half, something like this. So if the extended version has bigger ones, they would be about 3 hours each. So still not that big, considering what wargamers usually have. At a price point of 5 euros per campaign, I would, by the way, say that it's too much. Keep in mind that, for example, this campaign, it says it needs an hour to finish, so that's 5 euros for an hour. Maybe 5 euros for 2 hours if you play it twice. I think that's quite pricey. Anyway, that's enough talking about money. We'll jump right in. Again, I can't do Hastings, so I will do Saratoga to show you how the game is played. The campaigns do, the rule set slightly differs. For example, in Hastings you recruit units, in Normandy you do not. But in Hastings you don't have a supply system, which you have in Saratoga and in the Normandy. So you do have slightly different rules for each campaign, but still the main ideas are always the same. And as I said, it's mostly like Risk. You'll see when we get inside. We've chosen the British right now. Your turns are in these are divided in these, let's call them sub-turns. So the first thing we will do is we will pick a card. These are cards that give you boni. So for example, do more damage in the first round of the attack or something, and you get to play them during battles or during the campaign, depending on what kind of card it is. Like a lot of board games have. This is the supply system. I should note at this point that, again, due to a mix-up in the way the bundles were done, my bundle does not include a tutorial. There is a tutorial the developer wrote, and it will be added. Everyone will get the tutorial when they buy the game, but it's not in right now. So I didn't have a tutorial. There is, I believe, Yes, there is a 100-page manual, which I'm going to be honest, I haven't fully read yet. I've looked a couple of things up, but I didn't go completely through it. Because I think a lot of the things are quite self-explanatory. Your units have these wagons, and these are supply wagons, so if I move him here, he will take damage. But if he has a supply wagon, the supply wagon will take the damage, basically, and the supply wagon will be destroyed and the units will be fine. Okay, so these are supply points, so I want to take... I can't read what it says because of that unit, and I'm sorry, my American geography is not good enough to tell you what all of these places are called. So I would have to take it. I can walk down with him. He has 3 supply wagons, so he will lose one here, and then I'll take it, hopefully. And I will even still have 1 supply wagon left. So that's what we will do now. I have a naval movement that moves first. So how do I... There are boats here that I want to move. Yeah. How do I move you? Can I... I swear I've played this game before I did this, but I actually played around with all the other scenarios, not with this one. Until I saw that... I've played around with this one, but... Yeah, let's just not move it, because the units are obstructing it. So we will take this land movement. Right. I will move up with this unit, and now I can move with this unit, because you can only have X units per place. So for example, here we can have, I think, 6, all difficult terrain, and for example, your woods are difficult terrain. These woods, I think these plains, these light woods, let's call them, can hold more, but these definitely can only hold 6. So we can put all of them together. Also, when you attack, you cannot merge armies. What do I mean by that? So if I have a unit here and a unit here, and there's an enemy here, I cannot attack simultaneously. I can only attack with one, and the other one can move down here or wait or whatever. Even if there's enough, so even if this is just one unit and this one unit, I cannot attack with these 2 units simultaneously. I have to get them on the same field, into the same army, and then attack with this army. Which I don't like too much. So now I got a British morale +1. That's nice. Basically, your units have hit points and they have morale points, and both can be broken. And if the hit point reach the unit runs, the unit is destroyed, and if the morale reaches 0, the unit runs to an adjacent field. So this is how we produce units. We just got a bit of money. Unfortunately, I clicked it away because I was in my thoughts while I was talking. You get a bit of money. I think this is not dependent on your regions. I think this is decided by your 10-sided die. And then you can spend this money on units. So you can see the price here. So, and I do have 7 bucks. I can only produce British units down here in New York. I think this is New York. If it isn't, I'm sorry. So I will move it here. Something like this. It now shows me again what I am producing. I will click and purchase, and we'll jump to the supply again. Now you see that this region here lost 1 unit, but that unit was my supply wagon because I had a supply wagon with me. So again, we have naval movement. Now I can move it. Here we go. We can use it downriver. I think these can move too. So you see it like this. Not entirely sure why I'm moving it downriver. It would have made sense for me. Like, you probably would have wanted to move this unit onto the boat. This is not a full let's play. I'm going to end this in a bit after I've shown you everything, and then we'll jump into the other two scenarios for a quick look on how these play. But you probably would have wanted to move these units onto that boat and then carry them down here to fight for Oswego, because I don't think you need supply on the boat. Again, don't take this as a tutorial. I'm not good at this, okay? I'm just trying to give you an overview of purchase help. So I think I've shown you most of it. The only thing that's still missing is the most important thing, and that is the battle. So we will jump straight into this battle. I probably should have moved the units up. I think they would have battled first, but we'll just battle up here real quick. I'm going to, again, here's my income. It says from regions, so it's probably not the 7-sided dice, but but I still think it's kind of randomized. I'm not 100% certain. This is, by the way, my victory points, and the goal is that after the turns you have more victory points than the enemy. You get victory points for the region and some other stuff, but so you don't have one final goal like take this region and it's over. You have a let's have more victory points goal. So I'm just going to click through this and just try to get into a battle as quickly as I can to show you how the combat works in this game. I really like the art style, by the way. I'm clicking through this. The map's super simple, but I like that. It's very clear what everything is. I really am a fan of that. And simultaneously, I think they are hexes, meaning I think this isn't. I had a look at it on the Normandy map, and I think everything I saw was hexes, but now that I look at it here, it might not be. I think I've seen regions now that have that. For example, no, this one does touch 6. Most regions do touch 6, so it's something like a hexagon feel thingy. So what this is it's an general. You do need generals to attack. You don't need them to defend, but you need them to attack. Yeah, I'm actually not doing purchases, I just decided, because we're just jumping into that one battle, and then we'll have a quick look at the other agents. Back to the drawing. I like this little addition here. I mean, I wouldn't have written the first American victory. I know that's what this battle is, but it says so in the beginning. And if you're playing as England, would you want this down here written the whole time? But it's okay. I still like this because it makes it look like an ancient map kind of thing, and that's, to me, that's pretty. I like that. So now it's my turn. Finally, we'll get into a battle. Against reinforcements, we don't need that. Supply. He didn't take because he still had one supply card left, and we can move him into this region. And now we get to see a battle. Basically, you depending on here, it's probably only going to be 1 or 2. In the Normandy campaign, this can be like 5, 6 battles in one turn. Smaller ones, but 5 or 6 in one turn. And I think in that case it takes a bit too long because you don't have any input. Now in the beginning you can, I can put this here now. All the units have +1 morale, right? All the units are complete garbage right now because his as well, because of some background mathematics, but basically how it works is you have the 10-sided die and you need small numbers, right? I think you need to reach your attack number. So if you have like a 4 in attack that dies maybe 1 to 4 and then you hit. And if it's 5 you don't. Because my attack right now for the Mali and all the cards that were played and so on was 0. I would have needed to throw a 0 with my die. I think that's how it works. Anyway, you need lower numbers. This is going to take forever. I'm going to actually show you because I'm running out of time here because I only have the 30 minutes. I'm going to jump into the Normandy, show you that, and this one starts with a lot of battles. We'll play Germany, allies. I think we'll play Germany because it's easier to show it. Because he needs to play all these cards and so on, and so in this campaign, basically the US keeps landing here, it keeps getting its reinforcements from here, and Germany gets a lot of reinforcements from here. In the beginning, the US lands with a lot of troops, and Germany has very few units in the region. So you will have like 5 battles here, and you'll lose all of them. And the enemy doesn't need to do anything, he just wins it all, this all gets destroyed. And then you keep getting, from the German side, more units and slowly win. Now we see the battle again. He will play all his cards, and his cards are basically going to take out all my defenses. You see here my -1 combat penalty, so now my defenses are worse. I'll do this, and he go ahead. I wasted this, you probably shouldn't do this, because he pushed himself so hard on. So now you see he's hitting because he made 2, and I think because he has 5. So it's lower than his attack score, and that's why he's hitting. I get to choose who gets hit. And so he hit me twice, I need to pick it. So I can pick this once and this once, and I still have the unit. It doesn't matter. The unit actually does get weaker if it gets hit. So if you hover over the unit, you get why this unit has which strength, which is nice. So my units were destroyed, 1 routed, so I will still have this unit in the next turn. He moved here, he's in Trevieras now. Again, he's playing his cards. The US starts with a lot of cards, with a lot of strength. And he's going through it. But you see how little input I'm having, and I'm not sure how I like this whole popping up thing. I almost feel like I'm in a clicker game sometimes, because if there's... Now it is okay because we're at the very beginning and so on, but imagine you're in turn 10 and you just keep clicking all of these boxes away. I wish they would just go away by themselves quickly. And it would just say like losses, pop up and then be gone or something, because you click so much when there's a lot of battles. And I think this is a 20 turn, this is 20 turns. And you click all of this away and all the reminders, this is the supply, this is the reinforcement, this is now air and so on. You have to click it all away, and I feel there's too much clicking. So I have hit him. This means this unit did not hit him, it made that unit flee. If it's green, it hit and I'm doing damage. If it's yellow, I've made that unit flee. There is one thing I don't like, and that is if it's a scoot battle, if you have more units, for example, right? You have 3 units against 1 enemy unit, and you get 2 hits out. You have 2 green ones. You will be praying that the 3rd unit does not roll yellow, but that it rolls red. And that is because the fleeing happens first. So if I do hit twice and I make them flee with the 3rd one, the unit will flee and will not be hit. So the enemy still has the unit. The unit is not destroyed. And when you start praying that your units miss, I think there is a mistake in the calculation. I think the hits would have to be applied first. The mulberry in this scenario works in a way. The US needs to set the mulberry and they lose when they lose the mulberry. So the Germans basically need to take the mulberry. Or they can try to win with the victory points, obviously, like in all other scenarios. But without a mulberry. The recruitment here works different because you only get these reinforcements. So now in Karburg I got some more infantry, and later you will get tanks down here, and I think down here, and maybe up here, I'm not sure. But you're not recruiting like in the other scenarios. I think that was a quick overview over this one. Again, we're very low on time, so I'm going to jump into the Hastings scenario. As I've mentioned before, the Hastings scenario is broken. The developer said he's aware of it, and that he's going to fix it soon. And I want to make a shout out at this point because people have been going very hard at the developer for screwing this up, and I do agree that this should never happen. Something like this, it's embarrassing. But it's not a sign of the quality of the game overall. I do not feel like the game came out in a super buggy state, because while this is a huge one that should have never happened, it's the only one that happened to me so far. So I'm not happy that it happened, but stuff happens, right? And don't crucify the developer for it. It's bad, but it happened. And if they fix it, I do think they did quite some Q&A, and this must have been some last minute thing that happened. I don't think it's representative of the state of the game, if you understand what I mean, if that makes sense. So it does play exactly the same, except that you have 3 parties in this. You have the Vikings, I believe, the Anglo-Saxons, and the Normans. And the fact that I'm not entirely sure about what they're called. Like basically you have I think they're the Anglo-Saxons. You have the English, you have the French, and you have the Norwegians. And historically, we all know that William the Conqueror won, and he became King of England. So the Normans win this the whole thing. But I'm not sure how they're called. I think those are called the Anglo-Saxons, or just the Saxons maybe. Yes. Again, we may purchase. I've picked all of them right now because, as I said, the AI breaks. So we'll have to go through this. It doesn't actually matter. I'll just end it because we're not gonna play too long with it. I've seen with these, I've had like these raiders, these Vikings, as you would expect it. These have like fuel, like just dudes in chainmail and a bit of cavalry and stuff. And down here you have real cavalry and like Breton knights and stuff like that. You get that. This one doesn't have supply. It's the only of the 3 that does not play with supply. It's actually the one I was looking for the most. I saw the picture of this map and I wanted to play it. It's a very small map if you think about it. It only has like, if you do take out the homelands here and here, because again, I couldn't play this against the AI yet. I don't think these will be contested very much. I think the battles will happen here. And England has 15 regions. So if you think about it, and it's a 15 region battle. So it's a very small battle. It's set in the starting thing that it takes about an hour. It will probably take longer if you play with friends, which you already could. Like you've seen, I'm now playing with all 3. So if you do have a buddy over, you can play a round of this, or maybe if you have a brother or sister or something, or maybe your son, depending on your age. The Saxons are said to be the hardest. I think this is a bug that just happened. But not a bad one. Nothing game breaking. We'll just move it like this. And this is weird. This is a supply unit, but I don't think there's supply in this game. At least I haven't seen it yet. In this one, because you see how the different phases, let's call it. So I don't think there was a supply phase. This was only a first overview. I know I've been super quick through everything, but I wanted to stay below half an hour. I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm sure the quality of this has not been particularly good. I still hope it's going to give you some insight on the game, some purchase decision. If you would like to see a Let's Play, I think the developer is doing one. You know, like the Paradox developers, they are playing their own games on their channel, and I think this developer plans the same, because on the forum he said that Let's Play's on the way. So maybe people asked if they can do it, or maybe the developer himself is doing a Let's Play. I'm not sure about that part. If you would like to see one, you can write it in the comments, and I would love to do a Let's Play of this. If people would watch it, I don't know. I hope this helped a bit to show you how the game works, what it is, and help your purchase decision. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like. Not because it's going to make me famous, I highly doubt that, but just to give me a little, hey, this helped, and that way I'll know this wasn't in vain and you enjoyed this. And have a great day.